Hey guys, Common Man. This video is all about something I've never done before and never really had the opportunity to do before because it's a 1 year review of the channel, and the channel's 1 year old. So this is the first sort of opportunity I've had to do something like this. And I think it's going to be really interesting to take a look at how this YouTube channel has evolved over the last year, but also what this channel is all about, which is Tesla, how Tesla has evolved over the last year. So in other words, looking at this channel and also looking at the real world. So when it comes to this channel, the first video, if you go back and look at that, which at the time of recording was a year ago posted, down to the day, not necessarily, but it was approximately a year ago that this channel started. And it started with a big focus on the Cybertruck. And I had 63 orders for Cybertrucks, and one of them was being offered to me, which was really quite surprising. If you go back and watch these videos, you can learn more about that. But anyway, over time, the focus evolved away from being entirely the Cybertruck and my whole association with the Cybertruck through all my orders and the different ideas that I had surrounding that, etc. And it also started to become about releasing Tesla art. So a lot of my shorts, not all of them, but a lot of my shorts are based on Tesla art. So what is Tesla art? Well, watch some of my shorts and you'll see my version of, I'll call it performance art. So it's Tesla art, and it's unique in the sense that I don't think anyone else is doing anything like it on the internet, meaning this style of Tesla art. So check it out if you're curious. And so then another sort of sub channel came along, which was news. And that's been not something I've done a lot of focus on. But there is, I think at this point, there's literally one video that is news, partly because it just didn't fit into any other category at the time. So I thought that creating that sub-channel could be helpful for certain videos. And I do try to categorize all my videos, so in case you're interested in the art, you can focus on that. If you're interested in the Cybertruck, you can play that whole playlist or sub-channel, as I like to call them. And then another sub-channel that I started coming out with is what I call Tesla Tubers, or in other words, it's about the Tesla community. There's a lot of folks in the Tesla community. So if you want to learn about Tesla, there's so many great channels that can teach you about Tesla from an investing standpoint, from learning about the products of the company, and lots of things. So it was me looking at these different educational opportunities, I'll call them, within the community, within the Tesla community. And I did a few of those, and I could certainly do a ton more of them, and probably will over time. But so anyway, that's one of the sub channels. Another one that I came out with fairly recently is called Cyber Cab. So this is in relation to what's coming supposedly in 2025, where there will be actual robot cars driving people around and Tesla has now said that they believe that this will happen first probably in Texas, second probably in California, etc., etc. So this is going to be a very exciting part of the Tesla story, and I might literally get involved in the sense of I don't actually own a Tesla, but I might choose to buy a Tesla just so that I can get involved with this from a business standpoint, where my car would be getting used as basically an Uber, but it would be done through the Tesla app. So it'd be a ride-hailing situation where I could make money while my car drives all over town, taking people where they need to go. More about that if you check out that playlist. So there's that, and then another one that's even more recent than that is Tesla investing. So I have a lot of thoughts about Tesla investing, and so far I've only made one video about it, and it was in relation to MicroStrategies, and there's a guy who is working on a pair trading program where you're toggling back and forth between owning Tesla and owning MicroStrategies, and I'm very interested in MicroStrategies and extremely interested in Tesla as well. Both of these, so they're just the perfect pairing. Anyway, that I made a video about that, and there's going to be a lot more to come in terms of Tesla investing. So watch for that. In the last year, this will be the 29th video. Once I post this will be the 29th video in the last year. Prior to this, there's 28. And there's also 54 shorts. So what does that add up to? 70, 80, 82. So there's 82 total videos that I've put up on YouTube in the last 52 weeks. So that's interesting. The number of subscribers at the time that I'm uploading this video is 24. So I'm not too concerned about the number of subscribers, and my overriding goal is not to sort of make this channel profitable. It's more to give me a platform to express thoughts and ideas that I think could resonate with others, help others, and so forth. And by the way, I'm not saying if this channel became profitable at some point that I would have some sort of problem with that. I wouldn't. It's just that, to be clear, only having 24 subscribers, though I do value all of them, is not a problem for me. I just love being able to bring what I think, for the right person, is interesting content. So people who think a lot about Tesla and have a lot to think and say about Tesla, I think could really enjoy some of what I bring to YouTube. So there's all that. Now, just to briefly say some of what has changed a lot. So we've been talking about this channel. And by the way, some of what's going on with this channel has changed a fair bit, but I would say for the most part, it has stayed the same more than it has changed. Meaning, for example, the very first video I ever did on this channel was filmed right here in my studio, which is my car. And I picked that because, well, various reasons, but it turned out to be, I think, a great choice. The sound quality of my videos is actually quite good. And it's not because I have a bunch of extra equipment or fancy stuff. I am just filming on an iPhone, and not even the most recent iPhone either. And in fact, it doesn't also have the greatest camera. It has a good camera, but it's an iPhone mini, and I think it's a 12 maybe. But anyway, iPhones have good cameras and they have good microphones, and if you put them in the right environment with good lighting, and this studio, as I like to call this vehicle that I'm sitting in right now, you end up with good sound quality because you don't get a lot of outside noise in. I don't have the engine running while I'm doing this, and the lighting is good, and there's a lot of sound buffering qualities to the inside of a car. So anyway, my first video was filmed that way. This one's filmed that way. Most, but not all of my videos are filmed that way. So that's just an example of how a lot has remained the same. I have resisted so far the temptation to do a number of things that most YouTube channels do plenty of, and right out of the gate and so forth. For example, editing. I've never edited any of my videos, not the long form videos, not the short form videos, the shorts, YouTube shorts. But I definitely do some unique things with those shorts. It just doesn't involve actual editing. But check them out and tell me what you think. Anyway, I'm just giving you a couple examples of how this channel's a bit different than maybe typical, how it hasn't changed all that much. And I think if you're putting out a quality product, good sound, good lighting, and you have interesting things to say, which I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I think I know a lot about Tesla, and I have a unique perspective on it for a bunch of reasons. Okay, so enough about the channel. Want to go to the topic of real life. So how has Tesla changed in the last year? So it's unbelievable how much it's changed, actually, as I see it. So regardless of what your politics might be, and I'm not interested in getting very political here, but obviously Elon in the last year has changed a lot with his politics. I'm not saying his thinking has changed, but I do think that how involved he is in politics obviously has changed incredibly in the last year. And also the general politics of the United States has changed a lot in the last year, meaning we've had an election, and regardless of how you feel about who got in or didn't get in to the White House, there was a change, and it's a big change. So that's a huge change, and it very much impacts Tesla. So there's that, and Wall Street's view of Tesla has changed a lot, I think. It wasn't that long ago that the Tesla stock price was pretty low. So that has changed, and Wall Street is starting to talk about things when it comes to Tesla that they just sort of refused to talk about, or they would basically laugh at, or whatever you want to say. For example, Tesla has robots, And Wall Street doesn't want to talk about robots until they start making money. They definitely don't want to talk about humanoid robots, and they don't really want to talk about vehicular robots. So Tesla, every Tesla that's on the road right now is, I'll call it a vehicular robot, and it can drive itself. So it doesn't have a ride-hailing platform yet, or actually it might. I think some employees are testing the ride-hailing platform in the San Francisco area. I think I've heard that, and it sounded pretty credible. But anyway, for all intents and purposes, there's no ride-hailing going on at this point. But Wall Street is turning very quickly to start valuing the ride hailing that's going to come, and the FSD income that is going to come as FSD gets better and better and things like that. So even without ride hailing, they're starting to value the robotness of the vehicles. And the humanoid robots have gone from, I would say in the last year, have gone from basically a joke. Like, Tesla, are you kidding me, with this goofy guy dancing around on the stage in a robot costume? Now, I'm not saying that happened a year ago, but that was still Wall Street's view of the humanoid Optimist robot program. Is what a joke. But now some of them are actually starting to value it in their models and things like that. And Tesla is talking about producing thousands of these even this year. So this stuff is happening so fast. When you go back a year in time from today, just so much has changed. So much. It's unbelievable. And then let me just say a few things about the future content that I plan to put out. So all the sub-channels that exist right now, I expect to put out more content in those, some much more than others. And I also plan to create new sub-channels, which today I'll be creating a new sub-channel called Annual Reviews. And I will put out a series of videos in the next couple of weeks or whatever, and be done with it for this year. And then at the 2-year mark, I'll do it again, because I think it's an interesting way of just being able to capture a moment in time, and to be able to go back and look at these videos 5 years from now, I think will be really interesting, as sort of a time capsule. So anyway, and I'll just mention a few more little items. So under investing, I plan to do a lot more about options. So I think options is an undercovered topic in the Tesla community. It is not talked about a lot. And I have a lot to say on that. Loss capture is an undercovered topic that I have a lot to say about. So there's going to be some of that. More micro strategies is content will be coming out. Social Security, which, what does that have to do with Tesla? So I do plan to start coming out with content that is Tesla adjacent in important ways. So I'm on Social Security, and I have a very unique situation when it comes to Social Security, which I'm going to talk more about at some point. And I actually put all my Social Security money into buying shares of Tesla. So, and I took my Social Security early. So, yeah, and I'll be talking more about that. Enough said for now. Health, that doesn't sound very Tesla related, but I think it is. If people get focused on their health, then, and they make investments, for example, in Tesla, then they'll live long enough to see these things play out. So that's one reason health is important. And, also health relates to happiness and other things like that. So that's about it for now. And I will let you go, but you can expect more of this content to be coming out, bing, bang, boom, over the next week or two. And then we'll be done with this, and there'll be all sorts of other content coming out after that and over time. So there you have it. Hope you're having a great day. Bye for now.